Hi everyone, it's Sunday. Thanks for joining me. Just wait a couple of minutes for everyone to clock in. It's Sunday. Thanks for joining me.
You left your volume on. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find out. I just do it.
Just wait a couple of minutes. Stop it. Can you stop it?
No.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I can when I figure out how to. Oh, there it is. Oh, shit, there you go. Turned you off.
Every time. Hi Anna. Oh Anna, hi. Thanks for joining me. Gosh, I don't know what time it is with you. It must be evening time. Is it about 8 p.m.? I don't know what your time zone is. But hi, thanks for joining me. It's lovely to have you with us again on YouTube in Saudi Arabia, I think. So I'm just going to wait a few seconds just for people to join us. 2 p.m. That's Saudi Arabia, isn't it? Not Philippines. Perfect timing, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. That's not far ahead. So it must be Saudi. I need to have my world clock down the side, don't I? So I can work out what everyone's doing. So anyway, I hope your day is lovely, Anna. It's a bit cloudy today. I feel like it's a bit dark in here. We've got all the lights on and everything, but I'm hoping the sun's going to come out. Right, okay. Well, we're kind of a couple of minutes in. Oh, Maz is here. Hi, Maz. Yes, Saudi. So Maz is on the design team. She's in the UK. And Anna is Anna is new on the design team, so she's in Saudi Arabia. So meet each other. How cool! So I hope you're crafting, Anna. Hope you've been crafting, and I hope you've been crafting with Polkadoodles. More importantly, so I'm gonna just carry on, and people can just catch up, Callie, because I've wasted 2-3 minutes already. So today. Just grab a drink. Look, starting already. So today we have got 4 new releases this week. They're all on the website already. We've got 2. It's been so long since we've done a download release. It's just like we've got so much going on. I don't have enough design time anymore. So I'm really struggling to get everything done. So I'm really excited because I found another artist that I absolutely love her designs. And so I kind of contacted her and said, look, I know my customers are going to absolutely love all of your artwork and stuff. So we are now collaborating. So over the next few months, you're going to see lots of little kits pop up on the website. And what she does is more on the junk journal side. So she is great at designing papers. Papers are her passion. That's what she loves doing. She does do digistamps and things, and she often has them that combine with her kits. But generally, it's very much like designed for junk journaling. But for me, I just think, well, crafters, we do everything, don't we? I would take a junk journal kit and I would use that for scrapbooking or for my cards and everything. So anyway, I'm really excited because we've started to add some of our designs in the store. So we have got, hello Janet, I'm just going to say hello as you come in for a few people. Couldn't be here last week. Well, I'm glad you've been able to join us. I hope everything was okay at home and it was just because you were busy. So I'm really excited. So we have a brand new kit, which is one of these kits. And the really good thing is that I was also designing a bee themed kit. And although mine's totally different because mine's cute, Hers is more kind of like vintagey and kind of more real, if you understand what I mean. But they both are going to work really well together. So in mine, I've kind of created, well, you'll see anyway. I kind of kept in the cutie kind of genre. Um, because we've got Dee's kit that is just going to work amazingly well with it. Hi, Wendy. Hello. All the way from Spain. So we're international today. We've got Saudi Arabia, Spain, UK so far. So thanks for joining me, everyone. And also, Wendy's on the design team as well. So lots of design team people that you can get to meet. So shall we get on? And what I'm gonna do is what I'm going to do is show you the 2 new Digi releases. We're going to create with those, but also we've got 2 amazing MDF releases as well, which I absolutely love. I've just fallen in love with them. So we've got a lot to get through today. So I'm just going to kind of show you, hopefully do 2 demos. Chris is moaning at me going, get on with it, stop boring them. And so I better get on with it then, hadn't I? Right, let's go. So first of all, let me show you these gorgeous honeybee dreams kit. Okay, so I'm going to swap over cameras. Oh, I've not switched my overhead camera on. Bear with me a second. I know, very professional as always. I knew there was something I hadn't done. It's all set up. I just haven't turned the button on. Bear with me. Probably won't work now. You know what it's like. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Let me just move that out of the way. It's going to bug me. So I hope everyone else has got nice weather. It's just very overcast and cloudy, but it's supposed to get sunny, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Anyway, so hi Carol. Welcome for joining us. And Christine's here. Yay. So, hello. Do you know, I love our Sunday craft sessions. This is the perfect day, I think, for crafting. Right, Honeybee Dreams. So, this is, first of all, you're going to get 45% off if you use code BB45, okay? Before I forget, make sure you enter win in the comments and we'll choose a winner at the end for a £20 credit to your account on the website or a gift voucher. And also, we have, let me just turn on today's offer for you before I forget. Oops, where's my cursor gone? Oh, gosh, it always do you know, I don't know what goes on. My cursor disappears off the screen. There we go. Let me just find it. I'll just have it while at the top. Oh, I can't do it. There we go. There. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm just going to put that at the top there. So it's just running for everybody as they join us. Okay, so Honeybee Dreams. I've wanted to do a honeybee collection or a bee-themed collection forever because I absolutely love bees. I've said this a million times. Now, this is our new collaboration with a lovely lady called Dee, who's also in the UK. So she's a great designer, as you can see. So you're going to get all of these printables. So it's called a junk journal kit, but all that means is that, you know, junk journaling is really kind of people that love to make like little books and things like that. But anybody can use this. So it doesn't matter whether you're, you know, a scrapbooker, a card maker, a junk journaler, whatever. Anybody can use this. Now, I've printed this, so I'm just going to flick through what these are. So, hi, Kirsty, as well. So, I'm going to go to the papers first because these are stunning. So, you've got all these gorgeous, gorgeous bee-themed, very vintage-inspired papers. And they're just absolutely gorgeous. Now, she's also put in, these are some little envelopes and pockets that you've got as well. So I've just literally printed one of everything here. I think you get 70 odd pages. Now, this is what you get when you do junk journaling. So you kind of like get the journal tickets that you can write on and stuff. So I'm going to have to like zoom through because otherwise we're not going to get through everything today. And I do definitely want to get some demos in. So you then also get all these gorgeous, beautiful illustrations. As you can, aren't these pretty? So lovely. You know, card front, card front. You're just gonna literally print these out. You get sheets that have got all these little kind of tags and little toppers really on there as well. And then you've got these that are themed from the papers, so everything just coordinates beautiful, and it's in this gorgeous soft colour tones as well. Now, what I did, I want to just show you. So on here, what I've done, this is an individual sheet. So this is 2 different sheets. In your printer settings, all you need to do this, and this is how I resize, is you just literally go to layout, or everybody's printer settings are different depending on what system you're using. I'm on a Mac, so mine's slightly different. But basically, we all have the same settings because it's all within our printer. And all you do is you choose to print. You go to the layout on mine, and I can choose that I get two sheets or 2 images per page. And what that does is it resizes it from being a full A4 or 8.5 by 11. It'll resize it, so it takes it down to like more of a card size. And I find that doing that is great because this is now sized for an A5 card for me. If you decided to print 4 on a sheet, it goes down to an A6 or a 4 by 6 card. So it's just a really simple way to actually resize your digitals without doing a lot of faffing and having to do it in a graphics program. So and then like all that happens is that it resizes it. So I could just cut that out now and I've got a card. These I haven't, because these are all on a sheet anyway, so it's all pre-sized on a sheet. So just absolutely gorgeous. These are toppers. Have I gone through these? I don't know what I've gone through and what I haven't. So the artwork on these is just beautiful. Really, really nice. So these I wanted to show you actually on the printer. This is our ultimate graphic paper, which gives you just such a nice, crisp, beautifully coloured. When you print on the ultimate graphic, you basically get what you've got on screen, allowing for your printer inks, obviously. Hi, Jeanette, Karen. Hi, thanks for joining us again. Jeanette, you didn't email me last week to claim your prize. I think you forgot. So make sure you email me, website at polkadoodles.co.uk, to get your prize from last week. So I wanted to show you. So this is just, I've got a little Canon printer, so that's what I'm printing this on, little inkjet. Now, this is just like really cheap 90 GSM printer paper. And look, it's still come out really well, and that's the quality of the images. So look at what you're getting. I'm spending too long. Okay, look at all these. So I think I've printed everything twice. I'd kind of put it in. That shouldn't belong in there. That's from the other collection. But look how pretty that is. A4. So, you can print these however you want. So if you're going to create a big project, and the reason I love this kit and asked Dee to do this kit, if we could do this, is basically that I wanted this to go with the bee-themed MDF that we were doing as well. So that's the Honeybee Dreams kit. And then what I want to show you just before I flip off that, gosh, hang on. So I want to show you this sheet, okay? So we've got here, this is the difference. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but this is important because this is the biggest question I get asked about DigiStamps is, what shall I print on? This is the difference. So our ultimate graphic, which is designed by Hewlett-Packard to print graphics, and it means that you get a true colour on your graphics when you print with this. Now, we recently got some, it's kind of like, can you see that sheen on it? This is actually some cardstock that we were testing to print our packaging on. Now, look at the difference in the colour. See how it's like creamy, and it's not meant to be, it's a white. So I actually aren't that keen on it. It's okay if you want a vintage look on it, but my point is, it's all about the paper and it's about your ink on the results that you get, and also obviously the quality of the images. And my point is, because the images are so great, even on a 90 GSM rubbish paper that we normally just use to print out orders, the graphics are still gorgeous. And you know, that's basically kind of what you need to think about. So that's the Honeybee Dreams kit. So that's everything, pretty much everything you're going to get in there. There might be extras and things that I haven't shown you in there. Okay, so I'm going to try and demo something with that, but we're into 15 minutes already, so I'm going to put that to a side for a second. Now, don't forget, you've got a code, BB45, and you're going to get 45% off. Okay? So, remember to use your win, and you've got another code on the top, live 10, that's going to give you 25% off today. So, sorry, 10%. So now I'm going to just flip to the other kit we've got, which is called Bee Buzzy Gnomes. Okay, now I've not printed everything off on here, I don't think. So in this kit here, I want to show you how you, again, this is what I've done. So Bee Busy Gnomes, you're going to get 18 cute gnomes. Now I know gnomes are kind of being done for a very long time, and we were like one of the first kind of companies to really do gnomes in a big way. We've been doing gnomes since about 2015 now, so I think 8 years. But look how fab these are. They're so cute, and these have been sketched up for a really long time. These have all been kind of in my sketchbook waiting to come out. So look, you're getting all of these. He's eating honey on his little honey dipper here. This one's on like a log, having a sandwich and a picnic. And obviously you've got all these in stamps as well. So you've got a girl one. I love this little character. Really love her. I think she's so cute. I think she might end up appearing in her own little range, because she kind of reminds me of a little bit of Winnie. And I just love her. So this is all about being friends. Oh, look at her. How cute. And then this little gnome in a car. And he's actually what inspired. He's the first image that kind of inspired this range. And I just had this idea of a little gnome pulling a beehive covered in bees and flowers and daisies and things. So just super cute. Look at her with a little big fat bee on there. And this is about Save the Bees as well. Now in here you actually get him with a blank sign, so you can put your own sentiment in, or there's one that says Save the Bees. Then, and all the bee, what I love about this is all the bees also are kind of like got wings and things as well. Then you've got the things like a few things like this, like with the kettle and the daisies, toadstools. He's on the phone. This is What's the Buzz. So he's actually on a daisy phone, and it's actually in there. Couple more toadstool teacups and things, and then obviously this is the one with you that you've got the sign on. So you've got all your digi-stamps in there as well. Okay, so just to go back and reiterate what I was saying about the easy way to resize. So with this, I sized all these to get all these, and this is how I always do my kits. So when I'm going to use them, I actually select all my digits. So I kind of like select them all and then open them with whatever. I just click open and they open in my printer program. And then that's where you can then print all of these off at once or choose which ones you want. So again, I put these to print two to a page, as you can see. But then what I've done is I also then just went in, because they're a little bit big for me to actually use for my projects today, and I've gone in and actually done these as 4 to a page. So hi Pauline, So you can see here, these are all like perfectly sized for me now, and I've actually printed 2 of these out. Okay, so you can just have a little flick. So just exactly the same, but you can see now these are going to work. This is basically an A6 or a 4x6 card shape, so they're going to fit perfectly. So then we've got loads and loads of papers in here. Now what I really love, that keeps coming out, what I really love about this collection is the colours. So I'm going to just flip to the papers in here. So as I said before, the papers I designed in here, because we've got these honeybee kit with all the really vintagey papers, I thought, right, okay, I want to kind of go kind of more cutesy with my papers. So we've got all these gorgeous florals here. Now what I've done, and I haven't done this for a really long time, is I've given you basic patterns. So you've got polka dots, stripes, and then these lovely flowers. But what I've done is I've done them in 16 different colourways. And that's because I wanted to have a specific colour palette. So look, I've even given you the plain paper, the plain coloured papers, so you can actually perfectly coordinate. So you're going to get all of these plain colours that you can just print. So you're not messing around trying to find, I mean, obviously you can use your own cardstock that you've got, but this is the colour themes that I've used right across the whole collection, so everything will coordinate. So you've got ditzy flowers, you've got your plains there, then you've got a tiny polka dot, which you can't even see on screen, a bigger dot here. Then you've got some leaves, you've got some, just like a general sort of pattern here. That's your plain colours actually. I think I might have put them in twice on the graphics by accident. Then you've got stripes and ginghams. And then you've got some honeycomb, and the honeycombs go right through every single colour. So they're all just going to coordinate beautifully. Again, I've printed these with these flowers to a sheet. So then, you know, they're perfectly sized for the projects that I'm going to do. So then, just to show you what else. So you've got digi-stamps. In addition to the characters, where were those other things that popped out? There. That's what I didn't show you. In addition to the characters, you've also got some extras. So you've got some flowers in here that you can do as well. These aren't pre-coloured, these ones. Look at this little bee here. Can you see him? Look, he's studying. He's like a little bee worm with his books. And then you've got a few more flowers there. So there's quite a bit in this kit. It's quite big. Then you've also got 67 sentiments that you can use in here. A lot of sort of bee themed, but you know, kind of sweet, unbelievable, hey honey, all this kind of be happy, thanks for being so sweet, you know, have a beautiful day, but not, you know, not too bad. Then what I've done is all the sentiments I've put onto strip sheets like this. So look, you're going to get a black and white, a white version and a black version. You can just literally trim these with your trimmer, and just a really nice easy way to get all your sentiments. And then that's the other ones there, and you've got those in the same way. So lots and lots to get on with. So shall we start making something? Yay, Chris says. Yeah, no, but I've got to show them everything. Okay, so what I want to do first of all, I'm going to make I'm going to make something, guys. Right, okay. Let's get on. So I've got a blank card here. So this is A5, which if you're in the States is 5x7, actually 6x8, I think. I think it's a bit bigger than a 5x7. So what I did was, I'm in love with this image this is from the Honeybee kit. In love with this, completely in love. Now, I kind of wanted to just, you know, that on its own is a card and you don't really need to do much else to it. But what I wanted to do was actually make it a little bit smaller. So I printed 2 out so that I could maybe decoupage it if I want, but I'm running out of time. So I might not do that. Now, what I want to do, I'm going to just lay that, Do you know, and I haven't got a pencil. Every week I think, oh, I've not got a pencil here. So I'm going to lay that over my card. And I'm just going to wrap it there. And I'm just going to wrap it there. And that then is just going to give me my fold of where to actually trim this down to. Okay. So let's just trim this off. And I'm going to do this side first. Oh, got a little bump in there. Chris says I shouldn't go over an hour because I'm boring everybody. But I can't help it. I'm just not a quick demonstration person. Right, let's trim a bit more off. Pardon?
We need people to say win.
Oh, he says we need people to say win.
Yes.
Nobody's saying win. I thought loads of people have said win.
We've had a few.
Okay.
Oh.
Remember, guys, it's because we've got a lot of design team people and they're not allowed to win. So the design team aren't allowed to win. Sorry, guys. But everyone else, if you enter win, then you can, at the end, we will, God, I'm not very good at multitasking today. At the end of the live, we will pick a random winner to get £20 or a voucher for the store. Okay. So look, now, right, okay, I knew I'd done that. So sorry, I'm not, some days I can multitask and talk and do, others I can't. This is why we need a presenter when we're on the telly. Okay, right, there, perfect. So, already, card done, no problem whatsoever. Now, I'm just going to glue that. And I've got to tell you just about this glue. We're not stocking this glue, but Aileen's Tacky Glue, love this. But what I love most is they've brought that. It's the first time I saw this the other week, and I must admit I got this off Amazon. I don't know if you can get it from craft stores, I presume so. But it has this cap on. What it does is it actually stands like that, so it never dries out on the cap. Or if it does, you just pull it off, and it just literally stands up like that, and it's just fab. Best glue, best idea, love it. Okay, so because quite a few of you last week messaged me saying what was the glue you were using. Okay, so a little dab of glue onto there like that. And then all I'm going to do is just grab some sentiments. Where are you? So let me see. Let me see. I'm going to go, oh, I don't know. A little bee told me you needed some cheer. I like that. I think maybe that one. So I'm just going to zip. Has it gone there? And I love that these are in black as well. It just makes it really different. There's also get well soon in here, sending hugs. Okay, so look how easy they are to take out. And then, you know, you can snip these so they're really, let me zoom in a bit. You can snip these so that they're, if you want them like really perfect. But I'm just going to do it with my scissors for now. I actually don't mind if they're not always. Now, I could just literally do that. But what I want to do is remember I got cut another one. I'm just going to quickly cut this. And this is where you need your big scissors to cut out, okay? Because your big scissors enable you to cut better than a little pair of scissors. Well, if I was doing that with a little pair of scissors, I get lots of like little jaggy bits. Look, I've just cut that perfectly. Not quite perfect, but perfect enough. It doesn't need to be any better than I've done it. Now I'm going to just use some pin flare if it actually isn't. Oh, do you know, every time it's blocked. Somebody needs to invent an unblockable unblockable silicone glue, because oh look, I've got all that and it's all blocked. Oh,
Give it a whack.
you won't be able to, I don't think. I'm just sick of throwing silicone glue away. My pin flare is usually pretty good. Bear with me, guys. I need to grab some 3D foam. Oh. Do you know, look what I've just found as well. Oh my god, this is one of my favourite stamps that we ever did. Look, I don't know what stamp set that's from. Chris, what stamp set is that B from? Can you find it on the website? But I love that stamp. It was sitting on my craft caddy. So I think it'll be called Honey or something, probably. I think we might be out of stock. Right, okay. So I want to just put that. So I've just put a pad on there and then just raised that up. And how pretty is that? Now the other thing that we could do here is, this was my intention, is, well, I'm going to leave that for now, but we might come back and we might put something else on there. But I just love that on its own, just like that. I would maybe just matte and lay that, but it doesn't even need to be. Or what I could do, I might even, in fact, I quite like it like that, so that you're just literally wrapping it over, and I might just glue it on the ends, so it is literally like a little wrap. And the other thing that I would do if I had a bit more time is maybe decoupage the bee onto there as well and cut that out, but it'd be lovely. But why I was mentioning this, look on the website, because I have a feeling it might be out of stock, but this was my favourite bee stamp ever. If that's out of stock, I'm going to bring that back as a bee on its own, because it's reminded me, I just found it stuck on my craft caddy because I wanted to bring it back as a stamp on its own, and I'm going to do that. So, like I say, I am a bit bee mad. So, card number 1, yay, done. But we might come back to it. So, what I want to show you guys, and we are going to make a card with the gnomes, so we are going to do something else. But first of all, I need to show you 2 new kits.
It's sold out.
It's sold out.
Very, very old. I've never seen it before in my life.
It is. Chris, never seen it before in his life. It's an old one. Okay. Nice. Right, okay. What I want to do is I'm going to just show you the 2 MDF kits that we've got, okay? Maybe I should have done this as 2 separate things, but anyway, I've got something stuck here. I've got a die stuck to the bottom of my box. Oh, it's a new die. I wondered where that one had gone. Can't show you that. That's something new coming up soon. Right, okay. So, first of all, what I'm going to show you, and the reason I've gone to this camera, I kind of need to show you this. So, in fact, I'm going to go to this camera, okay. So, as you know, we're doing the MDF, and I'm a little bit obsessed now about everything being MDF based. So, what we've done is the kit, and this is going to be really difficult for me to show you this. So, this is a tiered tray kit. So, you're going to get this tray, and you make this up, okay? It's really easy. It's just basically 2 circles, and these sections here you kind of add together, and then it all slots together. Now I've painted this. So easy. All I did was, but look how it looks so shabby chic. This looks quite expensive, and it looks like if you were going in a store, you know, and buying this. Now mine's looks a little bit wobbly because I haven't actually glued mine in place, because I'll be taking this down to Hobby Maker with me. But basically, it means that if you're selling at a craft fair, imagine taking your stuff and selling it on this and having this as a display. Maybe you do earrings and you sell earrings and stuff like that. You know, it doesn't matter what you're selling, is fab as a display. So this comes with it. I've got to go quick, or we're not going to get around to everything. So I'm going to go overhead, actually, so that we can see everything properly. where are we? Let's go there. I just moved my camera a little bit and knocked it when I stood up earlier. Okay, so what you're going to get in here, I'm going to try and be quick. So this is our honeybee farm kit. So you're going to get all of this. Now, I painted these with some acrylic markers that I found. So you're literally going to get all of these pieces, and you can see how big it is. And then, where's all the bees, Nikki? The bees are all coming. Then you've got all of these, like little honeybees. And you can see how all of these kits all work together perfectly. Now, these are actually waste, but I didn't throw these out. So these all came out of the little honeycomb things there. So you could actually put them back in if you wanted to. We've kind of left that for you to decide. I think these ones, those kind of came out of there. So you're going to get all of these. And these are all in 3mm MDF, so nice and chunky. But imagine gifting this to somebody, or maybe you've got someone who grows their own honey. My dad and my granddad, I grew up, my dad and granddad used to have honeybee hives, and that's why I'm so mad on bees and protecting them and everything else. And we have like 1 million bees in our garden, and we've got a conservatory, and every day we're having to take them out and like rescue them out of the conservatory. Look at these, they're so dimensional, look, but just, they're fab. And all I did was just coloured this in, and it just looks like there's honey in there. So you've got all of these different bits, then all your bees, gorgeous little hive, look, how cute is that? So this is the honeybee farm kit if you're looking at it on the website. Now you get all of these little blanks, and what you can do with these is you can actually layer them together. So this is 2 separate pieces, look. So it's up to you whether you layer them or you don't. And then you can actually string them. There's little holes in them, so you can actually string them. I'm in a bit of a mess. And make a garland with it if you want, so you can just literally string all these on. Now, can you see how that all works super well with the tray? So, you could, if you were doing like a little craft fair, it doesn't even have to be that you make honey or sell honey, but just, adding these onto your displays, or maybe just using it for your photography or something when if you're photographing all your makes. Look how cute it all looks together. Obviously I would put some greenery on there, but you can pretty much just kind of throw it on and it looks great. But you could just have that. This could be, you could put your sign on it. If you were selling your crafts, maybe you sell it in the local hairdressers or your local village shop or whatever. You could just literally put these together and just use it as a little display. Or a farm shop. I'm very, very tempted to go. We have loads of farm shops around us, and I'm very tempted to go and actually take it around some farm shops. And I bet any money, if a farm shop sold this and just put a little jar of honey in the middle, it'd be perfect. But I think this would look lovely on the dining room table. I think it would look fab if you were also using it in your kitchen, anywhere, it would just look absolutely gorgeous. So, but it works perfectly with the tray as well, and you can like layer it up. I put loads of greenery on. If you look at it if you're not sure and you're kind of thinking, I don't really know, Nikki, it kind of looks a bit rubbish, I've just literally thrown it on. Go on the website and have a look, and you'll see how I actually arranged it all. I had lots of greenery and just some plastic bits of greenery on there. So that's the honeybee farm kit. So you can see why I wanted to show you this, because I'm quite tempted to use some of these bits on the card that we've just made, and you can. So maybe you like making journals, maybe you like doing just like 3D crafting, but to me I think it'd be lovely for a kit, for a gift. But obviously you could also then, look, we could use it on our cards as well. So if we wanted to, you could add a little bit of honeycomb. You could even, if you wanted, do something like this with it. I mean, you know, it's quite chunky, and I would probably do a bigger thing with that, or maybe do it that way around. You know, kind of have it coming off the edge like that. And then, like I say, you could position those, you know, make a slightly wider card, maybe you go to a slightly bigger one, or rotate it round like that, so you've just got like your little bee. But yeah, I mean, I've stuck mine down, so I'm a bit struggling a little bit with what to do with it, but it does fit perfectly around that bee there, so it's kind of like crying out for that, but a little, maybe a different sign. I actually really like it like that. I think that looks quite cute. So slightly different sign, or you could just do that. Look, that's nice. You know, just how cute is that? I think that's really pretty. So love that. And yeah, I would be happy to send that to somebody. Wouldn't you? I think it's really pretty. Okay, so that's the honeybee farm kit, that one. So let's look at the next kit. So just to show you what you're actually going to get, I didn't have one cut of the other one. So this is now Home is Where My Honeybee. So this is a different kit. So this one, you're going to get, this is your plaque, and you can see how big these are. They're not tiny, small things. Then you also get a little hive, or a big hive. So this all pops out, this. So that's all going to fall out, okay? And then that makes your hive, and you're just going to layer this up. And then this, because this is a different feel, this kit, you'll see when I show you what's painted. So this is your actual kit, okay? And this is a great one. We've got bank holiday coming up this week, and this is going to be perfect for the little ones. But also, I just think this is really adorable, and I designed this again to go with the gnomes. So look at what you're going to do with this one. Oh, I need to glue that down. So we've got Home is Where My Honeybee, and again, this is all part of it. So it's nice and layered, and you're just going to colour this. Again, I did this with some acrylic paint markers that I managed to get hold of, which were not cheap, I must admit. Then you've also got a little tag in here, sweet, and then these are your cute little bees. So look, these are adorable. So this is why I designed this, because I kind of feel like this goes with the gnomes. MDF on cards, I love it as well. Yeah, Jonna, I love MDF on cards. It's just so dimensional. Look, this is what you can do. You've got a little tiny one there. You know, you could do whatever you want. Mum, dad, baby. Wouldn't the kids love this? Little daisies. The other thing that I thought of with this was that I think this would be really cute, and cut around this and make a little book, and this is the front page of your book. Or what you could do before you assemble it, because this is two different parts, use this bit as the back, and then you put some paper behind this one, and that's your front page. If you use your crocodile, you'll be able to cut holes in it and actually make your holes for your spine. But yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking with this. So again, love all that. I wouldn't put that with the first card, but I would definitely use this with the gnomes. So let's make some. Oh, and also you get a little. I don't know which one you get. I don't know if you get this with both, or which one you get this in. You get a little easel. Anyway, I think that's with the honeybee. The first kit, I think, gets the easel. Not sure. I can't remember. Yes, it was the first one, was it, Chris? Yeah. Okay. So let's get started. Let's make something else then. Now I've got a little bit of a plan going on in my tiny little mind. Let's see. Let me grab some cardstock. Chris, hello. You know, in the bin over there. In the bin, I think there's a bit of cardboard. Can you pass me a bit of cardboard, please? Don't matter what, just a little bit of cardboard. There, that box. Just cut that flap off for me, please. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I've put all my stuff away now, and I don't know where I put it all. Okay. I had got it all out. Thank you. Cheers, ta. So I'm going to use, this is one of the papers from the gnome kit. So let me just trim this down. Does anyone have any questions? Have you all entered win? Remember your code at the top of the screen. Oh, I've still got that scrolling. Is that irritated? Let me turn that off for a while. Sorry, forgot about that. Okay. So I'm just going to trim these edges off here. 15 minutes. Yeah, loads of time. Okay. So again, I'm going to work on A5 just because it's a good size. I'm not giving myself too much to do. And you can see how lovely these colours are going to work together. Okay. And then I should have cut these together at the same time. Let's save a bit of time. And I just like to trim down the edges. It makes it easier instead of doing it all at the same time. All, kind of one after the other. Okay. That'll be fine. Right, okay. So, rid of that. So this is just a piece of watercolour cardstock, okay, and because I wanted a base and I've not got, in fact, actually, I lie, I've got some cardstock. Bear with me. Let's use a bit of craft card. Let's do a proper thing. Okay, where's my scorer? Okay, so I'm just going to use my easy scorer. And then I'm not using my expensive. Okay, let's put that on there. And what I do love doing is kind of combining cute and non-cute things together. I think, you kind of, a lot of people kind of think, oh, you've got to be either one or the other, and it's just not the case at all. So I'm going to just kind of do a bit of layering. So I've got this lovely paper here. So these are out of the gnome kit. So let's just do some ripping and tearing. Okay, I just want to tear that the opposite way instead of... So when you're tearing, if you don't want that white edge, but you just want the torn bit, go away from yourself. If you want it the other way, go to yourself. And let's just get a bit of that, and I just want to take that white off the bottom there so I'm not messing around with that. Okay, let's just get a bit of that in there. And then we'll do the same again with the pink, but I don't want a lot of this. So I think, let me see, that way, maybe. I'm quite liking the pink against the brown for some reason. Let's go there and there, and we'll just trim that down a bit more. So we're kind of going with the flow a little bit. And I'm just going to get rid of some of that. I don't want that much pattern on there. I just want a little bit that's going to come down the bottom there. And we'll just literally do a bit of layering. Okay, so just kind of do some layering like that. Now I've got my little bit of craft paper here. Now a little tip for you with this is, if it's hard to get off, just wet it a bit, and it might not be quite wet enough, but it kind of sometimes makes it easier. Just, there you go, that's a nice bit, look. So this bit I would still use, so look, we'll put that bit in there and that bit there. We'll rip. Oh, look at that nice chunky bit there. Can you believe anybody think you're crazy? Oh yeah, I love ripping up boxes. Okay, let's add that there. And then this bit where it's all rolled up, I love that it's rolled. So look, I'm just going to use that as it is. And then this bit, we'll roll it again. So just a little tip for doing this is just grab a pencil or something and just roll it around. And if you struggle to roll it, Barbara, are we still selling that gorgeous craft mat that you're using? Do you know, I think we're out of stock, Barbara. Sorry. If you have a look on LDRS Creative, I think they've probably got some for sale, but I know we're really, really low on stock. It's the Squirrel and Vine craft mat, which I did design. But yeah, we only had, well, we've sold thousands actually in the States, but it costs a lot of money for us to ship it over here because it's really big and heavy. And the stock that I actually had, we've actually sold out, and I think there's maybe like about 3 left on Angie's website, I think maybe. So if you want it, head to LDRS Creative and have a look there and see if they got it. But no, we haven't got it anymore, I'm afraid. We have looked at trying to get it here, but like I say, it's very expensive for me to ship it. Now, I think what I'm going to do, so someone asked me then about, what else? How's the kitty? Do you mean Wanda? Wanda's great. She's hilarious. Yeah, we've kind of inherited a cat. We moved, as you know, gosh, 3 years. Is it 2 years this September? 2 years. Yeah. 2 years in September. Can you believe it's that quick? And ever since we moved in, this cat, we kept picking up this cat on the cameras. And anyway, we could never get her near her. She just used to run off. And then all of a sudden, one day, she actually came up to Chris. I think she just decided, she was probably hungry and he offered her some food, I think. But she just came up to him. And from that day, she's just literally been living here. We can't get rid of her, really. She's a little monkey, though. She's a bit of a hunter. She keeps hunting all the birds, which is not good. Because we've got quite a big garden and lots of bird nests, and you know, we've got a bit of a bird population going on, which we really love. But yeah, she's a little monkey, but she's definitely moved in, and now there's a ginger Tom that's definitely a stray. He's full of fleas, bless him. But we keep, you know, we can't not feed him. He's very nice, and he's timid, but he's also friendly at the same time, if that makes sense. So look, I'm just trimming this. Just get those white centre bits out. I can't stand having them white bits. And what I do, if there's a white bit down at the bottom there, can you see? I actually do trim those out if I can. Sometimes I can't be bothered, but usually I do. I just think it's worth. And what I've done is I've actually cut through there, because it kind of, you can cut through it. So it makes it a bit easier. So all I'm thinking here is that now I can actually start layering these pieces. Oops, let me glue some things down because it's all moving around. Okay, don't know where everything was now, but never mind. So yeah, so Wanda's, she's lovely, but she's quite contrary. You can tell that she's not really had a lot of people contact, if you know what I mean. But she is very cute. So we had that yellow, didn't we? I've missed my yellow bit off. Just to add an extra colour. I'm only putting the yellow in just to add a little bit of contrast against the pink. Are you still sound like never done a download project before? I know I'm really behind everyone else, but is it easy to do? Absolutely, it's easy. So as you can see, it's no different to normal crafting, Janet. So all you've got to do, our downloads are really easy. You literally add them to your basket, and then you check out. You get an email that includes. Oh, I don't want that. Sorry, I don't want that down yet. I'm just going to position this, but I'm not gluing it down. You get an email with the links for you to download it, okay? And by downloading, all you do is you click the link and then you save it onto your computer. And then you just save it where you want it to be. And then it's just like printing. If you can print a photo, if you've ever printed a photograph, that's literally all you're going to do is print a photograph. So, you know, don't overthink it. We've got lots and lots of help on the website as well. So, you know, it's really easy. And it's the first time you do it, you know, you kind of might think, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. If you do, then just contact me and I'll talk you through it. Quite happy to talk you through it. But the first time you've done it, after you've done it the first time, that'll be it. You'll be hooked. Because you can do whatever you want then. You can resize all of these. I've resized them to make them fit what I want them to be. So I could have done these really small. It's, you know, really affordable way to craft when you consider how much you actually get for your money compared to buying stamps and everything else. But it's not exclusively, you know, you can only be a download crafter. That's not the case. You know, I use downloads with my stamps. As you can see, I'm using it with my MDF as well. You know, you can use it however you wish. You can, for the papers alone, it's worth, you know, kind of trying it and having a go. Why don't you try? Oh. Oh. Am I still there? Can someone just tell me if I'm still streaming? Sorry, because it just came up that it had stopped. Can you just comment? Chris, I don't know if I'm still live and you walked away. Because it stopped. It said it had stopped.
Yes, it has.
Has it stopped?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not on.
No, you're on.
Oh, I'm on. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I just got a message saying streaming has stopped for the internet connection.
Yeah, I think it was just YouTube.
Oh, okay. Right, okay. Yeah, Barbara, sorry, I just saw your note about the board. Yeah, that's exactly why. It's literally we were shipping them in and kind of making a loss on them. So unfortunately, that's why we don't have any more in stock. We just kind of had to stop doing it. It was when all the it was fine until they put all the shipping rates up. So right, okay. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to just zip to my small scissors. I'm just going to quickly cut this. It isn't exactly as I would cut these. I would do these a bit better. I'll do it, try and prep this next time. It's because I've picked the fiddliest image I could have done probably. Okay. But what I'm going to do, just another little tip for you. So here, where it's freezing.
It keeps freezing up.
Oh, I'm sorry if we keep freezing. Have you got anything running, Chris, on the internet?
No.
Why is it freezing? Okay, I don't know if you can still see me or not, but I'm going to carry on. No? Is it just you that's freezing? Okay, right, anyway, I'm carrying on. So, just another little tip. So, if you've got like quite a bit of white around here, like you can see, a little tip for you is just ink your edges a little bit. So, I'm just going to grab my vintage photo and just a little fine brush.
I'm not entirely sure you're on it.
Well, can you comment and ask people to leave a comment, please, if they can see me or not? I don't know if we've stopped. It says I'm still live here. So, whilst we're just sorting the tech out, so I'm just going to edge around my image, and it'll just make all of this white just kind of disappear, especially because this is kind of quite brown and vintagey. So it's just going to take the edge off the white bits, if that makes sense. No? Come on, Mr. Tech, you're supposed to be...
You know, the Facebook now says we was live.
It was live.
And YouTube's just not working.
Okay, so if it looks like we've lost the live connection, can you just post then saying that I'll carry on and I'll post the rest when I've finished? So I'm going to just have her coming out of here. In fact, I'm going to layer her, I think. So let's just put a couple of these bits on there. In fact, let's see, where are we going to do it? Let's do a little tiny bit more. I want a little bit more of this pink, I think. Okay, so I'm going to glue that in place. So let's glue some of these. That's glued anyway. So I'm going to just glue this down. And then we're going to attach, just glue this. I'm going to put her there.
Definitely not live, so.
Pardon?
You're
Definitely not live, never mind. Okay. Never mind, we've got the recording. I'll carry on as if I am still live. Let's put that down there. And you just post in that I'll finish. Okay. So I'm gonna add my little tubes here. This one's a little bit big. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue. Well, we've not had it go off for a long time, Chris, have we? Let's just glue that in.
How are we going to draw the draw?
Oh, the draw. We'll do it manually when I finish. Let's just do it manually.
Blooming heck.
Blooming heck. Okay. So just glue that in if it's a little bit big. And I'm going to just do that down that edge so it kind of traps that one and make that just a little bit lower. I love rolling paper, absolutely love it. Now what I want to do here is, where did my bits go? Oh, there, okay, right in front of me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use, I think, maybe put my little tag in there. Or what I could do is kind of put that up there. If I cut that off, let me see what it's like without that. So you could put that there. No, I think I quite like it down here. And then we can bring in one of our bees. Maybe have our bee up there. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that off. So just trim that. These may be a bit big. Let's use the smaller bee. Quite like this one. In fact, I quite like that bee on there. Is that too much maybe? Bee, maybe. There. Little, let's have another little flower. And it's all about just layering your pieces. So this is what's really cute. And this is so tactile. If you give this to somebody, they'll just literally love it because it's very substantial. And it's one of those, oh look, this is what I wanted to use. I wanted a bit of this. So let's just grab a little bit of this in the background. Just everything's kind of looking a little bit washed out. So let's get just something a little bit darker going on here. Let me just see if I can put that in there. Oh yeah, I think I'm quite liking that, I think. Maybe trim it down a bit. Yeah, so I don't cut all that. We'll go there. That's nice there. So a little bit in there, and then let's put just so another little bit there. And just glue that down. And then I'm looking for my sentiments that I've put somewhere and I can't see where I've put them. Well, that's all gone to pot then, hasn't it? Yeah. Where have I put them? Bear with me. Oh. You see, the other thing as well now, what you could have done, if I hadn't have already attached all this, that would have looked quite nice. Added in somewhere as well, but I'm going to kind of leave it. So I've got a sentiment here, so I'm going to put my little bee on there. We're going to add maybe that one up there. I'm going to have the leaves coming down though, so it's not too intrusive. Have that there. And then maybe what I would do is put, there we go, sweet, there. The little bee told me you needed some cheer. I love that sentiment. I think it's really, really cute. And if you had the other one, you could, you could put a different bee on. You could have that bee on there. Or you could even put that bee there if you wanted. It's up to you. But you can see how you can start combining everything together. This would look nice, maybe. You could put that there and attach that. So really, really collagey. Let me just swap the camera over a bit so you can see it a bit clearer. And just get rid of, I've got a very long string on there. Let's just trim that off a bit. But you can see then how that all works. Oops. Get off. See how all that works together? And yeah, it's got a lot on there, but it's very dimensional and quite cute. And just by adding those little extra wooden bits and pieces, it really makes quite a big difference. So if I just show that from the other side, look how dimensional that actually is. So, I mean, that's quite a cutesy little image there, and it is altogether quite cute, but that would be really good for like a girl, I think. You know, maybe sort of a younger girl would really love it, but you know, just play around. Don't be afraid to, you know, combine your wood embellishments with your card making techniques that you do. You know, it all works together, and there's no right or wrong in any way. You know, if you wanted, you can put an extra B on, you can do what you want. This could be a journal. You know, it'd be really nice to make a journal page. Right, so seeing as we've lost connection, we'll randomly kind of manually pick a winner. Okay, so the winner is Janet Hurst. So, Janet, congratulations. I will try and message you about claiming your prize. So, you've won a £20 gift voucher for the store. Don't forget that you've got 10% off with code LIVE10. So I'm sorry that we've lost the connection, but hopefully this has continued to record. So I'll put this onto YouTube and then you can watch the end of it from where it left off. So hopefully you're going to do that and you'll see the end project. So thank you for joining me if you did. I'm sorry that we lost you, but at least we've been able to carry on, I think. It's telling me it has, so hopefully, and I think maybe it's still on YouTube, I don't know. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I will be back next Sunday. So what's that? The 25th of May, Sunday the 25th. I'll be back and we'll see what we've got then. That's bank holiday weekend. If you're away for the bank holiday weekend, don't miss us because we'll be on Hobby Maker on Wednesday the 28th. So that's the Wednesday after bank holiday. So a week on Wednesday basically on Hobby Maker. Not with any of these products though. So at the moment these are exclusive to us. So if you love the MDF, go and grab it. It's already we only launched it yesterday, and in fact haven't actually launched all of it yet. So it's already flying out the door. So as are the downloads, especially Dee's kit. People are loving Dee's kit. So don't forget that both those download collections work together as well. And the 45% off is for a limited time, so make sure you grab it while it's got 45% off. Right, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry if you had other questions. If you have, just leave them in the comments and I'll check them later anyway, and I'll respond manually into the comments. But thanks for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and I'll see you next time. Over and out. Bye.